Hey, what is going on, everybody? It's me, Earl here, and this is a 1,000 mile update on my W203 C240 wagon. Now, I've been driving this a lot, mainly in the city. I really love how soft the suspension is, unlike the W204 C240 that I got with a sport suspension, which, for once, it's very comfortable, and so far, it's been an absolute pleasure to drive this thing. One thing I definitely noticed is how slow it is, but you know what? Over the past couple of weeks, I've actually realized not to really drive that fast and just live in the moment. This car, as cliche as it sounds, it really makes you want to just enjoy the drive and look at the scenery and whatnot. Pretty much a whole ass tank or a boat or whatever you call it that's very solid, but it's not the fastest, Other than that, I'm really just enjoying this in general. Driving it's been a pleasure. Obviously it doesn't have the latest and greatest tech. However, I do have a few plans on the infotainment system if I keep holding on this car for anything longer than the spring. So far, I've done a few things like I said in a past video. I recently got my brakes. Well, I got my rotors and pads in the back, which shows the most wear. The fronts are fine, surprisingly, but the back brakes definitely needed some replacing with heavily grooved rotors. So I'm gonna go ahead and tackle that on the next video or the next week or two or something like that. But other than that, once I settle on that one, I think I pretty much should be set. I mean, I've driven over 1,000 miles just to make sure everything is all good. So far, no check engine light or nothing like that. So it's a very, very smooth engine. I've let a few of my friends drive it and they say it's really one of the smoothest cars I've ever driven, which is ironic because this car is quite the opposite in my opinion from when I'm driving it. So, perspectives are really an important thing on this one because some people say this is one of the smoothest rides they've ever been on. Some people say it's pretty rugged. So it really is up to the actual person who's interested in getting this car. Personally, so far, I highly recommend this car. I mean, if you really don't care about the looks. Now, look, don't get me wrong. I know some of you guys are pretty angsty about me saying how ugly this car is, but personally, you could agree with me that this car really has not aged up that well in comparison to the W204, which is a little bit newer than this, and it's only like, 2 years apart between this and that. The design on this car is based on the 1990s, and it shows. It definitely shows. However, it doesn't feel dated to the point where like those typical Honda Civics of the era, everything just feels so plasticky and ruggedy. This car actually has some really good interior qualities, so I'm not really complaining on that. Heated seats are phenomenal on this car, and the fact that they're still working like many decades later, I'm still happy about that. I do have a few plans for this car if I end up keeping it longer than a year. Definitely want to get some off-road tires for it. I have a vision for it. There's this guy with an E46 that I really like looking at. He got it like pretty much set up. It's also a wagon. Basically, that's exactly what I want this car to be. Maybe a ski rack on the top or a ski box on the top. I'm pretty much set with that. I'm pretty much happy with this. The only other thing I need to make sure this car is all good is the maintenance. I did the oil change, but I'm pretty sure nobody has done the differential fluids, transmission fluid in this thing, but so far it's been smooth sailing. It definitely is a lot cleaner than last time. Obviously, I didn't really detail this as much as I could because of the weather. Everything's just getting colder and I just don't have as much time as before. But other than that, personally, I'm pretty much set with this car for a good while. I'll definitely keep you guys updated with all the things I have in mind for it mod-wise. Anyway, thanks you guys for watching this video. I'll see you guys on the next one.